This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, up to Monday. Welcome back to reality, you early risers out there.
That is right. Day after big football Sunday. Might be a little rough morning for some of us.
Football, and also return to some nice weather. Mid-70s yesterday, John.
That was gorgeous. You couldn't get any better than the weather yesterday, I don't think. It was absolutely lovely. This morning, though, we have a first alert weather warning for you because of fog around. Could slow your morning commute, especially if you're coming from inland areas. That seems to be where the fog is thickest across the region. But even along the coast, I think it's going to expand and encompass a lot of the coastline as we head into the mid-morning hours. Dense fog advisory up for the entire area till 9 o'clock. That fog will lift, leaving some low cloudiness around. Currently, the thickest of the fog located in inland areas and around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, where we have half-mile visibility. Venice, Sarasota, both coming in over a mile, so okay there. But there will be some patches of thicker fog around. Through 7 o'clock this morning, look for that fog to linger, then start to rise as sun dawns. Then we'll start to see partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon and evening. Overnight tonight, we have a front approaching that's going to trigger off showers and thunderstorms. Morning drive time forecast calls for that fog to be an issue for some of you. Otherwise, the drive home tonight should be pretty good. Mostly cloudy skies, but rain-free and fog-free. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Again, plenty of fog out there. Also, some slowdowns there on 301. Nothing major at this point of the day. Checking farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. A little blip there at the 301-41 split across from Publix. Otherwise, all clear. South County, all clear indeed at 5:02 on your Monday morning.
Our top story this hour, the search is on this morning for a suspect in Polk County after an improvised explosive device was set off in a shopping mall last night.
It happened at the Eagle Ridge Mall in Lake Wales about 5:30 p.m. when firefighters found smoke in a hallway next to the JCPenney. The Polk County Sheriff's Office says there were 2 explosives detonated. They also found a backpack in the area, but no other devices were in that one. Thankfully, no injuries. Officials said looking for the person described as a middle-aged white male.
And an update now on a shooting that occurred Saturday night. Sarasota police are now changing their investigation to a homicide. It all took place around 7 o'clock on Saturday night. Sarasota police responded to reports of a shooting near the corner of 34th Street and Maple Avenue. Police confirmed the victim, 32-year-old Todd Michael James Reeves, died from injuries related to that shooting. Now, detectives are still looking for information in this case. If you know anything, you're asked to contact the Sarasota Police Department or Crime Stoppers. And a follow-up now. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is also continuing to investigate a shooting that happened early Friday morning near the intersection of 17th Street and Lockwood Ridge Road, which sent a person to the hospital in that case.
Yeah, Marla Spence was out there that morning. She's back there today with an update. Marla, good morning.
Good morning, Ray and Stephanie. That's right. You know, the Sheriff's Office is continuing to search for the person responsible for shooting someone inside their car right here, this intersection in Sarasota. Take a look at this surveillance video of the incident that happened that morning. According to the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, deputies with the tactical unit located the accused suspect's car at a home in the 2600 block of 26th Street in Sarasota. And that's where detectives and the office's SWAT team searched the unoccupied house. And that's where they recovered 2 rifles hidden under a mattress inside that home. And like I said, no one was home at the time. So the Sheriff's Office is continuing to search for that suspect. Now, the Sheriff's Office is also asking anyone with any information to come forward and also call Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you, Marla. For the latest on the breaking news out there, you go to our app at WWSB or My Suncoast. Other news now, 2 very different gatherings in downtown Sarasota to mark President Trump's first year in office.
Emotions seem to be running high as they were back on Inauguration Day. Our Erica Jackson has the story.
Just hours earlier, 5 Points Park was filled with protesters speaking out about the Trump administration. The group marched miles through downtown Sarasota, where they eventually met counter-protesters. And that is when tensions got high.
These drivers are honking in support of President Trump.
He's done a great job. He's for the people, and he's keeping his promises.
No Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. While hundreds nearby chanted in opposition.
During the Trump administration, we have seen him attack, a number of people.
The separate rallies remaining peaceful until the two groups came face to face.
Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Anti-Trump protesters taking their march from 5 Points Park through the annual Seafood Festival on Gulfstream Avenue.
People are out here trying to enjoy themselves. This is a seafood fest party, but they purposely went through here just to disrupt.
Organizers calling the event a fight against racism and bigotry, expressing support for Muslims, women, the LGBTQ community, and other minority groups.
All the Obama era legislation, he's rescinding it, signing things day by day, and it's making a difference in people's lives. He's slowly attacking democracy.
But just blocks away along the Bayfront, another group celebrated Trump's first year, confident he has America in his best interest.
Trump actually believes in America. He wants to make America great again.
In a weekend full of marches nationwide, few illustrated the political divide, quite like Sarasota on Sunday.
I say that everybody should just get along with everybody.
Police made their presence known to keep everyone safe, but some tried to take advantage, asking officers to remove those counter-protesters. But one officer reminded them that both sides have the right to speak freely. Reporting in downtown Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, hundreds gathered on Siesta Key Beach over the weekend to raise awareness and money for suicide prevention. It was the 12th annual Sarasota County Out of the Darkness Walk. More than 350 people participated, some who have lost loved ones, others who have personally struggled with suicide, and others that are supporters for the cause. Walkers and donors raised over $35,000 for suicide prevention research to better understand this leading cause of death in the country.
We came to support our friend Audrey Robbins. She had lost a family member to suicide, so we wanted to be here to show our support, and we think it's a very important cause, and we just want to be part of it. I think it's the message is getting out there, more people understand it. It's not so much of a taboo to talk about, and the more you can talk about it, the more people can get help for it.
American Foundation for Suicide Prevention says these fundraisers do a lot to add to the goal of reducing the annual suicide rate 20% by 2025.
Meantime, hundreds took part in the annual Native American Festival this past weekend. The 11th annual took part at the Sarasota Fairgrounds. One-of-a-kind fine arts and crafts and paintings, pottery, jewelry, sculpture, and much more, along with authentic Native American food. Over 30 artists from a variety of tribes took part.
This is a great opportunity to come out and learn about Native American culture. There are several tribes here representing nations from all over the country. So it's a good chance for anybody that doesn't know a lot to come out and learn more. Visit with the artist, watch the dancing, and just ask questions. That's the best way to do things, is ask questions, and you learn a lot that way.
The event is held on Fruitville Road at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds.
And circus fans gathered over the weekend to bid on rare circus and carnival items available for the first time to the general public. The second annual circus memorabilia auction was hosted by Show Folks Sarasota. Items for sale at the auction included photography, props, costumes, signs, and so much more. Some people are out there looking for pieces to add to their collections, and others were there to sell memorabilia that they've collected over the years.
We come out just to sort of see what's going on. It's kind of interesting just to see all the old things. As for us, it's memorabilia, and it's just never be again.
Now, the circus auction attracted people of all ages, some who grew up in the circus and some who just aspire to perform in it one day.
Well, next weekend is Gasparilla in Tampa, but the Sarasota Elks Lodge off Clark Road had their own pirate-themed event yesterday. Wagsparilla is a fundraiser for sheltered dogs. The event was a benefit for Satchel's Last Resort and Vintage Paws Sanctuary, two local shelters that take in the least adoptable dogs with special needs or senior dogs as well.
We usually take animals that are scheduled to be euthanized. Again, medical needs are very important. Animal that was hit by a car needs immediate needs, you know, and then we'll take a behavior animal, a dog that's maybe too wild or showing dog aggression or leash aggression.
Sometimes people just don't have a choice. They have to give up their dog. Either the owner's passed away. That's what happened to Scrappy's dad. He was 82 and he passed away, and it left him and his brother homeless.
Both shelters say they are constantly at capacity with around 60 dogs each. You can find a link to their websites on our website at mysuncoast.com. Perhaps you can adopt or foster some of those animals. Wags Perilla.
Wags Perilla.
Clever.
I like that. I like that. Getting the dogs in the spirit, and a good cause, too.
It certainly is. Still ahead, First Alert traffic and also John's forecast. And actors honor each other at a show seen as a precursor to the Oscars. We'll tell you who won.
That's right. Coming up a little later in the hour, day 3 of the government shutdown. We'll tell you about the latest vote happening at noon today. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Here's a peek outside our window. Yeah, dense fog advisory till 9 a.m., 62 degrees. And John Scalzi's forecast is next.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking an experienced broadcast engineer to provide technical support for all broadcast equipment. TV broadcast background required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So temperatures across the region are generally running in the 60s. We have a few areas which are a little bit cooler. 59 degrees in Sarasota, 61 in Arcadia, 60 Wauchula, 61 in Mayaca City, 61 Lakewood Ranch, 60 in Parrish. It is, again, a First Alert weather day because of fog across the region. 59 degrees our air temperature in Sarasota, dew point coming in at 59 as well. It's a match, 100% relative humidity leading to that patchy fog that's around. The hour-by-hour forecast through the day takes us into a kind of a mix of sun and clouds as we progress into the noontime, lunchtime hour, and that will be because of that fog lifting and because of clouds streaming in from the Gulf waters as well. Few scattered showers way out in the Gulf waters should not be a problem for us today. I think we're going to pretty much stay rain-free today. We might squeak out A little bit of drizzle, but it's not going to be a big deal. Basically, we're looking at a pretty quiet weather day today. A little bit later on tonight, perhaps a few scattered showers from about Tampa Bay northward. I think we stay dry, but tonight through tomorrow morning, we'll watch a frontal boundary approach. That frontal boundary will trigger off a line of showers that'll extend far enough southward that after midnight, we have a chance of seeing some rain showers around here. And the farther south we go, where the moisture is deeper during the afternoon tomorrow, as that front moves through, there is the possibility around the Fort Myers area of perhaps even a thunderstorm or two, especially as you head further south of Lake Okeechobee. Otherwise, by tomorrow, around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, the front will be moving through, the clearer skies will be coming in, and that will leave us with a very pleasant overnight tomorrow night, followed by a great day on Wednesday. So we get through the next 24 hours or so of kind of a mixed weather bag, and then we're in for probably most of the work week looking pretty quiet, pretty benign, and this front that's coming through is not going to pack a punch in terms of really cold air. Radar, really quiet right now, despite the fact that we do have some cloud cover around and some little bit of patchy fog out there. Dense in places, it could limit visibility to below a quarter mile, slowing your morning commute. That's the reason for our first alert weather morning. We'll probably be able to get rid of that first alert weather by around 9 o'clock or so. That's when the dense fog advisory ends. Big frontal boundary and low pressure area intensifying back to the west, creating some severe weather potential for parts of the deep south and open plains today. A little bit of cloud cover, as I mentioned, streams in from that approaching frontal boundary back to the west, but I don't think that it'll produce much in the way of rainfall. What it will perhaps do is tomorrow morning again bring us a fog potential. And the reason is our winds, which are generally out of the southeast today, come in more out of a southerly direction tonight. And because we have a coastline that kind of faces a southerly flow, we could get some sea fog forming and pushed onshore as we head into tomorrow morning. We'll keep an eye out for that. And tomorrow morning could indeed be another slow commute day because of fog forming. So the forecast kind of looks like this. Decent day for boating today, but watch for some patchy fog building out in Gulf waters. Southeast wind at about 10 knots. I think a little later tonight, though, you'll probably see a few scattered showers beginning to get closer to the shoreline. 2-foot seas, light chop. Forecast for the 7 days ahead calls for that chance of rain to develop late tonight after a daytime high of 77. Front comes through early tomorrow. By noontime, we start to clear. 74 tomorrow. Temperatures drop on Wednesday to about 67, but that's it. No colder than that. Certainly no freeze with this one. And as we head into the next several days, we'll start a warming trend that carries us into the weekend when our rain chances start to go up again with the next front. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic. Aside from the fog, it's pretty quiet out there, but you do want to leave yourself a couple minutes because there's some deep fog in a couple different places. And then going into North Sarasota County, again, the roads are looking pretty good out there. Not much to see at this hour. It's running pretty quiet. Same thing for South Sarasota. Again, not much to see out there. Pretty quiet on the roads this morning. Just look out for that fog. Well, it is 5:18. In entertainment news now, as movie award season is in full swing. Surprise! Not so many surprises this year when it comes to the winners.
ABC's George Panaccio has the honorees from last night's Screen Actors Guild Awards ceremony.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri is on a roll. The drama added a SAG award for outstanding cast to its bounty of trophies. It's already won the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice Awards. Its lead female actor, Frances McDormand, and supporting male actor, Sam Rockwell, also added SAG Award wins to their winning resumes. Gary Oldman is sweeping the lead actor category this year for his portrayal of Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour. The veteran actor is taking it all in stride.
My feeling is, enjoy the moment in the sun, and it will eclipse. It always does, and then, and it'll be someone else standing up here next year.
Allison Janney also won every major award so far this season, including the Screen Actors Guild for her supporting performance in I, Tonya. And Morgan Freeman was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award.
The inference might be that get off the stage, you're done.
It might. You don't know. I mean, so it's a life achievement. My hope is that that's not the case, that they were saying congratulations so far.
The SAG Awards is also a night to celebrate the best in television. The ensemble from This Is Us won the Actor Trophy for Best Cast in a Drama Series, and the stars of Veep won Best Cast in a Comedy Series. Individual honors went to Sterling K. Brown and Claire Foy in the drama category, and for comedy, William H. Macy and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Brown's win, though, made history. He's the first African-American man to win the Best Lead Actor SAG Award.
To be up here with these people right now, like the fact that we all get a chance to stand in front of you guys like in victory, this is a beautiful moment. Beautiful.
As we say goodbye to the SAG Awards for another year, we'll say hello to the Oscars. Those nominations come out Tuesday morning. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
We're doing a lot of this. Yay, yay.
Yeah, that show, This Is Us, gives me the chills.
I know. I can cry just at the trailer. Coming up tonight. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's very good.
All right, well, no crying. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Amazon is set to debut what it's calling the Store of the Future today. We've got your first look.
And next half hour, the Senate reconvenes at noon today to vote on a short-term deal to reopen the federal government with a preview of that big vote. But first, peek outside. Dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. Take precautions on the road. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Fact: the top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail: Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
For the first time in about 5 weeks, it was safe to go to the beach again. As Siesta Key, I was out there yesterday with Aaron. We took some pictures, and there's a polar bear in the sand.
What? Is that a sculpture?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
That guy does that every weekend, and then he sits back and reaps the rewards of passersby.
I like that.
I got about 5 more photos uploaded on my page, so stop by and look at it. Ray Collins, ABC 7. Stephanie and John have daily updates as well. We're also on Instagram.
Yes, we do. That's right. On Instagram as well. You can get some of your behind-the-scenes actions, and we always do Instagram updates every day as well, too. Yeah. All right, well, Apple's CEO is partnering with a Nobel Peace Prize winner to launch a campaign called Think Different.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Maggie Rulli tells us what that could mean for the future of education for girls around the world.
In today's Tech Bites, the store of the future opens today.
Forget registers and checkout lines. The Amazon Go store in Seattle will let you scan an app when you enter, and then you'll be charged automatically as you pick up items, all thanks to cameras and other sensors. Grocery store unions have been critical.
But Amazon says if the idea catches on, millions of cashier jobs in the U.S. can be repurposed. If you enjoy audiobooks, you'll soon have a new place to turn to.
The Google Play Store will soon be getting a dedicated audiobook section. Users will reportedly get 50% off their first purchase.
And talk about a power couple. Apple CEO Tim Cook and Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai are joining together to launch a campaign called Think Different to improve education for girls around the world.
They recently met with Syrian refugees, many of whom talked about rebuilding their countries. We'll have more on this on Good Morning America.
Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Cepacol lozenges.
Uh-oh, a painful sore throat? Not now. If you want a max strength alternative to cough drops, take Cepacol Instamax. This will provide fast relief. Look, unlike regular cough drops, it contains 2 max strength pain relievers and cools in seconds. Dual power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Knock out sore throat fast. Take Cepacol Instamax.
The bathroom. When things go wrong here, you remember. Quilted Northern is designed to work so well you can forget your bathroom trips. But Sir Froggy can never forget. I used to be a prince, but no princess would kiss me now.
Bring home the style. Ashley Home Store has your ultimate game plan. Get ready to entertain with selection and style. Score big savings and get your home game ready. And end the day on a good note. Right now at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
I have heard from many people in the community, savvy political people, that they think that this is a tight race. I've heard from Republicans and Democrats saying that they think that this is going to be a tight race.
Big developments in the hottest political race on the Suncoast, and now a huge debate. I'm Alan Cohn with the where, when, and why at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership
for drug-free kids.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, day 3 of the government shutdown. We'll have the latest on the standoff.
Plus, the top man at the CIA during the Obama administration will speak today in Sarasota. We'll tell you where.
And what a weekend for football. We're going to tell you what the 2 teams are that are now headed for the Super Bowl. We've got those stories and more for you right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning to you. It is Monday morning, January 22nd, 5:30 this morning. Thanks for joining us this morning on Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. Off to another foggy start, though. John, you're going to call it a first alert fog advisory, huh?
Yeah, for the morning, it's a first alert day because of the dense fog in some places, reducing visibility to low enough that it could cause you a little extra commute time this morning and a little inconvenience. So you'll want to watch for that. The fog banks can come up on you pretty quickly, too. Here's the Lakewood Ranch webcam, and you can hardly make out, well, you can't make out any of the buildings in the distance that are usually lighted and look very beautiful at this time of morning. It's all encompassed by fog. The fog advisory up till 9 o'clock this morning for everyone now, including coastal regions. That dense fog, as I mentioned, thickest in inland areas, but it's beginning to expand closer to the coast. Got quarter-mile visibility now in Venice, half-mile visibility in Punta Gorda. So just allow yourself that little extra time. We'll have the first alert up only for the morning hours. By around 9 o'clock, we'll be able to lose it as the fog lifts and gives us those low-hanging clouds that will be around throughout the morning hours. Also some clouds coming in from Gulf waters, kind of associated with an active southern branch jet stream and an approaching cold front, all teaming together to promise us some overnight showers tonight. We'll have the complete forecast details on that coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Again, watch the fog out there. Otherwise, no major delays at this point of the day. A little blip there at Cortez and 14th Street West. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south, we see some early buildup on Clark Road in the westbound lane as you head toward Beneva. Otherwise, pretty clear. And the South County map will show us all clear at 5:32 on your Monday morning.
And topping our news this half hour, the government shutdown is stretching into day 3.
ABC's Arlette Sines has more on a key test later today in the Senate.
Negotiations to reopen the government hit another roadblock.
Let's step back from the brink. Let's stop victimizing the American people and get back to work on their behalf.
Democrats objected to a late-night vote on a plan to reopen the government.
Talks will continue, but we have yet to reach an agreement on a path forward that would be acceptable for both sides.
Bipartisan lawmakers huddled throughout the weekend to hammer out a deal. The latest plan, a short-term fix funding the government through February 8th with a promise to deal with immigration. But Democrats insist any funding deal must protect the so-called dreamers, those 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Another compromise was nearly struck between Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and President Trump. Sources tell ABC News that potential agreement gave the president full funding for his border wall in exchange for protecting the dreamers. But the New York Democrat says that plan fell through.
I believed we might have a deal twice, only for the president to change his mind and walk away.
Roughly 800,000 federal employees are furloughed. Workers deemed essential, like air traffic controllers, border guards, and the military, are still on the job but without pay. 69-year-old Veronica Tucker is one of those workers in limbo.
I live from payday to payday, so paycheck to paycheck. It's very difficult.
The Senate will vote at noon today on that measure to fund the government for 3 weeks. At this hour, it's unclear whether enough Democrats will be on board to advance it. Arlette Sines, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Despite the government shutdown, some tourist attractions will remain open. The Smithsonian's have some leftover funding from previous years that they can still use. However, there's no word on anything beyond today.
And the number of legal immigrants from Latin American nations who use public health services and enroll in insurance plans has dipped substantially since President Trump took office. Now, advocates say many people fear that their information could be used to identify and deport relatives living here in the U.S. illegally. Trump based his campaign on those promises to stop illegal immigration. But advocates say that many legal residents and citizens are now losing their health care as a result. A nonprofit director that helps low-income families get health care coverage says Hispanic immigrants are not only declining to sign up for health care, they're also not seeking treatment when they're sick.
It is 5:35 right now. If you want a job or a better job, there's a job fair tomorrow in Sarasota County. Positions are available in healthcare, customer service, and many more occupations. Among the companies hiring, Amazon, Spectrum, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, J.P. Morgan Chase. So it's called JobLink 2018. Tomorrow, 10:30 a to 2 p. at the Homewood Suites Conference Center. That's at Cattleman Drive. Job openings will be in Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, and Bradenton. The event is free, and make sure you do bring plenty of resumes. They will hire on the spot.
And happening today, former CIA Director John Brennan is set to speak at the Van Wezel in Sarasota. Now, Brennan was sworn in as CIA Director back in 2013, where he served during the Obama administration. His talk is set to focus on foreign intelligence and what we can do to focus on counterterrorism moving forward. Now, tickets to see him are available at Brennan's town hall style speeches. He's set to speak at 10:30 a.m. and then 7:30 tonight.
New details overseas as the Taliban claims responsibility now for a hotel attack that killed 18 in Afghanistan. Gunmen disguised in army uniforms raided the hotel in Kabul on Saturday. 13-hour siege ended early Sunday morning. Security returned fire and killed several Taliban militants. Dozens of hotel guests escaped out windows from upper floors.
And an update now out of California, where recovery efforts are still underway after those deadly mudslides.
John Lawrence has details as officials in Montecito say progress has been made, but some danger spots remain.
For the first time in nearly 2 weeks, U.S. Highway 101 in Santa Barbara County is back open. It was shut down after major mudslides blanketed the Montecito area earlier this month.
Our operations were 24/7 with multiple crews working day and night, and we're very excited to see this roadway reopen.
Officials say they're hoping residents can soon return to some sort of normalcy.
We want you to get to your homes, back to work, and to reopen your businesses as soon as it's safe.
Some areas are still in rough condition, and people need to be cautious of potential hazards.
Use common sense, be aware of any injuries you have on your own body, and be sure to take care of your health during this really difficult time.
Over the weekend, authorities recovered the body of 28-year-old Fabiola Benitez Calderon. She was among 21 people who perished in the mudslides. Her son, niece, and sister-in-law were also killed by the storm.
This family has lost so much, and we wish them our best as they face the difficult journey of trying to move forward without their loved ones.
And as authorities repair the damage done in the past, they're also keeping an eye out for potential hazards in the future. A number of organizations, including CAL FIRE and the Department of Water Resources, have provided data to show where fire and heavy rains could again cause severe flooding.
All this has to be evaluated so that we can present to you in a couple of days what that new risk areas are and how we're going to handle notifying the public.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now for the latest on this story, breaking news, plus your up-to-the-minute forecast, your first alert forecast, especially on a day like today with all this fog. Head over to our app. You can find it under WWSB or find it under My Suncoast. And a follow-up now in Sarasota. The County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate a shooting that happened early Friday morning near the intersection of 17th Street and Lockwood Ridge Road, which sent one person to the hospital.
Marla Spence is back out there this morning for us. Marla, good morning. What's the latest in that story?
Good morning, Ray and Stephanie. Thank you so much. You know, this morning, the Sarasota Sheriff's Office is continuing to search for the suspect responsible for shooting someone inside their car at this intersection in Sarasota. Now, take a look at this surveillance video showing the moment when that shooting happened. According to the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, deputies with the tactical unit located the accused suspect's car at a home in the 2600 block of 26th Street in Sarasota, and that's where detectives and the office's SWAT team searched the unoccupied house, and deputies recovered 2 rifles hidden under a mattress inside that home. Now, currently this morning, the Sarasota Sheriff's Office is actively searching for that suspect. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Indeed, very troubling morning commute.
Right.
Gunfire during the commute on Friday. In sports now, the stage is set for Super Bowl 52 in 2 weeks.
That is right. An unlikely matchup for an NFC championship. Both the Vikings and the Eagles losing their young starting quarterbacks early in the season. The matchup was a good one yesterday. Now the backups, who were teammates just 2 seasons ago, able to lead both teams to the edge of the promised land. In Philadelphia, the Eagles were hosting the Vikes. Minnesota, fresh off their miracle win last week, scored on their first drive of the game, but the wheels kind of fell off for the Vikings after that, unfortunately. Starting with this play, Keenum hit as he throws, and Patrick Robinson picks off the pass, follows a group of blockers to pay dirt, then up 14-7 with a minute left in the first half. Nick Foles throws a deep ball to Alshon Jeffries for a 53-yard touchdown. Now Foles, of course, he threw for 352 yards. Oh my God, look at this. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful catch. Unreal. Such good football yesterday. 3 touchdowns, no picks, and the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
Closer game in the AFC, where the Patriots came back for their 8th conference championship during the Brady-Belichick era. It wasn't easy. UCF alum Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars had New England on the ropes late, up 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Close, yeah.
But Tom Brady shook off a hand injury, throwing 290 yards and 2 touchdowns, the second to Danny Amendola, with just 2:48 left in the game. Final score, 24-20. Bortles, though, nothing to be ashamed about. He threw for 293 yards and 1 touchdown. So again, it will be the Patriots and the Eagles, the Super Bowl, 13 days from now.
That is right. That is right. A lot of good football yesterday. Good matchups. I think for the first time, people were like, okay, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Like, there were some good matchups yesterday.
You know, I taped the Patriots game on my DVR, rather, not VCR.
Still on VCR.
Went out and played tennis. I didn't want to know the result.
Right, right.
But sure enough, I got a breaking news alert on my phone. Patriots won. I didn't want to know yet.
Delete. Hey, it's still a good game to watch, though.
Oh,
still worth watching
so.
again. Yeah, it was still good.
Still ahead, first alert traffic and weather, and over 30 children across the country have died due to a deadly flu strain.
We're going to tell you about what officials around the U.S. are trying to do to fight back against the flu. It's up next for you at Health Smart.
There's a big vote today on Capitol Hill. The Senate reconvenes to talk about jump-starting the federal government. We'll have a preview coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
I'm Alan Cohn. The hottest political race on the Suncoast in years. Big developments in the campaign to fill Sarasota's seat in the state legislature.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperatures across the region very close to the dew point value. We've got 60s most everywhere. And when you get a temperature and dew point that are pretty close to the same, that's when you get 100% relative humidity. And that chance of fog as winds are relatively light. We'll watch for that fog to persist through the morning hours, and a dense fog advisory has been issued for our area. So it's a first alert weather morning because of that dense fog limiting visibility to below a quarter mile in many, many locations. Fog should be burning off by about 9 o'clock or so. The dense fog advisory expires at 9 o'clock. We'll have 62 by around 7 a.m. this morning, and the fog just beginning to lift. We'll watch for 73 degrees by 12 noon, and it will be a warm day today. As we get into the afternoon, a few fair weather clouds building because of a stream of moisture coming in from Gulf waters, boosting our temperature into the upper 70s today. Don't see much of a rain chance today, but as we head into the nighttime period, you'll notice clouds beginning to thicken. That's the harbinger of some rain showers that'll be coming our way overnight tonight and through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's drive time maybe a little bit sloppier because of scattered showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms around. Futurecast looks like this through 7 o'clock this morning. That mix of sun and fair weather clouds and, of course, the lifting fog. That's followed by a little bit of cloud cover coming in from Gulf waters by around noon. Don't think we'll see much in the way of rain showers here. I think this model might overdo it. We may see a little bit of light drizzle from some of these fogs later in the afternoon. But rain showers, I think, will be mostly confined to areas north of Tampa Bay. That'll be around 6 o'clock tonight, those showers moving on shore there. We're left with the cloud cover thickening, cloud bases lowering as we head into the evening hours, and then a line of showers will approach our area after midnight into Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning. And for drive time tomorrow, that line of showers will be on our doorstep and will be moving southward. Now, the best chance for any kind of stronger storms is going to be in the southern tip of the state. Severe Weather Center gives a chance at some thunderstorm activity there. Really nothing severe, although there is severe storms associated with this frontal boundary. That's located really well back to the west and to the north of us. The energy surrounding the severe weather threat and the winter weather advisories. Colorado yesterday, some places got 1.5 feet of snow, and there's still winter weather advisory stretching as far south as Missouri. All of that heads off to the north and to the east, dragging this cold front through tomorrow. Now, the good news is this cold front, not as strong as previous cold fronts we saw last week, so this one will lower our temperature a few degrees, yes. But it's not going to be a blast of cold Arctic air. This one's coming from the Pacific, and so this air will in no way endanger us with a freeze as we head into the next several days. Beach and boating forecast calls for winds out of the south turning to the southeast turning to the south during the overnight tonight at about 10 knots. Forecast looking like this. We'll have today a daytime high that tops out at about 77 degrees with a chance of showers after midnight through about tomorrow morning when the showers will end early. Clearing skies during the afternoon, 74 the high as the front rolls through. Cooler but clear on Wednesday with moderate drop in our nighttime temperatures to about 50. Over the next several days, we'll start to warm into the weekend, but there'll be a chance of rain then as well. Back to you.
All right, let's take a look at your first alert traffic. It is 5:49. Not too much to see out there. You've got some congestion starting up on 301 as well as State Road 70. Going into North Sarasota, the roads are looking pretty good, but there is some patchy fog out there, so you might want to leave a little bit early. Your normal slowdowns on University Parkway. And if you're heading to South Sarasota, there is not much to see out there. The roads are pretty good this morning. Again, it's 5:49, and that's your first alert traffic. Well, in this hour's Health Smart, the deadly flu epidemic continues to show across the country, and new numbers from the CDC confirm that this is the worst flu season in nearly a decade.
ABC's Steve Osunsami has the latest.
The flu epidemic has come to this using foggers to spray disinfectant on the walls. The San Antonio daycare is trying to fight the flu bug like the cockroach.
If there's literally one kid in here with the flu virus, okay, and that kid sneezes, coughs, guess what? This entire environment is now contaminated.
Classes are canceled for a week in this school district north of Dallas after nearly a third of their kids came down with the flu.
The flu is always severe, but we have never seen it like this.
This third grader in Alabama died from the flu on the same night she was rushed to the hospital. She was just 8 years old. New numbers from the CDC tonight show the flu is still spreading wildly. From 27 states reporting high activity last week to 32 this week. And tonight, more than 8% of all deaths in this country are from the flu and pneumonia, the highest we've seen this winter.
We're having a lot of activity everywhere, all at the same time.
27-year-old Catherine Gallagher was found unconscious on her bathroom floor. She had already visited an urgent care and was sent home to get some rest.
If young people hear this, they will realize that, that this is not to be trifled with and that they're not invincible.
A study out from the University of Maryland shows that the flu virus can be spread without even sneezing or coughing. Nearly 40% of sick college students they tested were spreading the flu by simply breathing.
Wow.
Wow, I believe it. All of that just sums up what's been going on here at our station, like a lot of workplaces out there.
Hopefully that's winding down here now.
Yes, that's right.
Still ahead your top local, yeah, it's mostly your fault, but top headlines next. And look at this, a large group of sea turtles is rescued off the Florida Panhandle.
We'll tell you why they needed help and what researchers are doing to help them now, right after this.
There's a peek outside our window. There is a dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock this morning. 62 degrees, and more local news is straight ahead.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
The search is on in Polk County after somebody set off an explosive at a mall in Lake Wales. No injuries, and the mall was evacuated.
Plus, day 3 of that government shutdown. Both sides working to hammer out an agreement. Another try today as the Senate is set to vote at noon on another short-term fix.
And a former top spy at the CIA will speak in Sarasota this morning. John Brennan led the agency during the Obama administration.
Finally this hour, more than 1,000 sea turtles stunned by unusually cold weather have been rescued from waters off Florida Panhandle. Sea turtle expert Margaret Lamont says that cold-stunned sea turtles began appearing in St. Joseph Bay in early January as those freezing temps really gripped the area. When temperatures drop below 50 degrees, the turtles become unable to swim or even lift their heads above the water to breathe, and they can actually drown. Volunteers then pluck the turtles from the water or the shore, and they send them to Gulfport Marine for some rehab.
I saw 3 turtles on a log getting sun yesterday at Siesta
so
Key.
Nice. Warm again, warm again.
Careful outside, a dense fog advisory till 9. There's the evidence right there on your screen. More local news queued up 3 minutes away.